Our trip, we've done 2,200 miles. We've visited 7 different suppliers and we've been through 3 different countries.
Morning everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the 𝗚𝗲𝘁 behind the scenes tour, where Lee and I are visiting a number of our key suppliers to find out what goes into a modern caravan and motorhome. Last week we're in the UK visiting a number of our partners there. Over the weekend we've crossed the channel and we've towed the caravan down through Europe, and as you may have guessed by the magnificent props we have here, today we're in Germany. We're actually in a small town called 𝗚𝗲𝘁, which is a town just outside Munich. It's home to Europe's largest mobile heating system provider. It is of course home to Truma. And I'm delighted that 𝗚𝗲𝘁 𝗏 has joined us. And just Angela's title is 𝗚𝗲𝘁 𝗏𝘁.
I think it's easier.
Thank you very much. Head of Intercompany Management. Angela's a good friend to 𝗚𝗲𝘁. She basically is the liaison here with the UK arm of the business, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. So obviously we've got the manufacturing plant here, and this is where we make the heating systems. I assume the other products you offer, they're made in Germany, or?
Yeah, everything is manufactured here in Germany on this location. Mm-hmm. And besides the heating systems, which we will see later at the factory tour, we also do the air conditioning systems here. And our gas appliances, that's the only the gas regulators, they are manufactured in our own company in Italy.
So everything's reasonably local.
Yeah.
And you're very much a family, because you're quite similar to 𝗚𝗁𝘁 in that respect.
Yes.
And although you manufacture here, I suppose what makes you different from perhaps some of our other overseas suppliers is you have an operation in the UK, and they're based in Derbyshire.
Yes.
And,
we found when we started to do business in the UK that it would be very tricky to do this from here and supply the goods, everything directly to the OEMs. The UK OEMs have been very demanding, or quite demanding.
Surely not.
Therefore, we decided we have to have a subsidiary in the UK, a base to operate from, to customize our products. Returnable packaging was one of the requirements we had to fulfill, and we couldn't have done this from 𝗚𝗏𝘁. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the returnable packaging you get comes from Truma Limited, where we customize and configure the kits as you want them.
Previous trips we've done, not just the supplier tour we're on now, but we've been to the Arctic and we've been kept warm by Truma.
Thank you very much.
What processes and tests do you have behind the scenes to make sure that if someone's away on a caravan holiday, they'll stay, it's warm whatever the season? We
have a lot of experience, of course. We have done endless cold chamber tests here, mm-hmm. and also in Derbyshire. So that's the experience of the people, how to best lay out the warm air distribution in a caravan or motorhome.
I know you work very closely with our design team, so when we're coming out with a new model, you guys get involved at a very early stage, and we work out how best to install your heating systems to ensure it gives the best possible results. Yeah,
my colleague Mark Tricker works very closely with your engineering team, and he's always there when the first off is on the production line to make sure the product is fitted correctly, and then comes regularly to check that this stays like that.
It's what we call a vendor vet, effectively. You're signing off the installation to say that we've done it to the required standard. Angela, thank you very much for your time. So we're joined by Norbert Kreitmeier, who's the Director of Supply Chain Management at Truma. Probably the man with, over the last couple of years, probably the toughest job in any business. I mean, 2 huge challenges have come your way. The first is Brexit. Obviously that was a UK initiative, but how has that affected you as a European manufacturer in terms of supply to the UK?
So our advantage was that we have only a few suppliers in the UK. So there's one big gearbox supplier for our mover, and another one a plastic supplier and an electronic parts supplier. So that was the advantage, that we could handle that very easily. So we built up some buffer stock, because everybody told us please be aware of some issues directly at the border, when there's no trucks available, when there are customs discussions or even customs problems. So we built up for a few weeks of buffer stock, and that's what we was for us a successful story, because then we didn't run out of components and we can handle that easily. Okay. Of course, after that, Brexit for us means that we have to do some more paperwork on customs and so on, but normally now it runs very easily and very safe.
And I've got to say, from the manufacturer's point of view, it was pretty much seamless from Truma. You guys gave us next to no problems at all in terms of supply, both through Brexit and also through COVID, which I think probably a bigger challenge, and one that we weren't expecting at all.
Yeah, that's completely right. So we didn't expect how much impact we will have. In the first days of COVID, we only had the problem from China, because we have some components from China for our air conditioners, or also electronic parts, because the electronic business is normally mainly based in China and Far East. So for that we also organized different things. Fasten the supply chain, fly some products in instead of shipping it in. So that was the first reaction we did when we heard about COVID and what to do. Then a few weeks later, COVID was everywhere, was also very present in Europe, and in the first weeks, April 2020, we stopped production for a few days, for a few weeks, because we really stopped them to avoid that some people get affected here in 𝗚𝗲𝘁 directly at our shop floor. And but a few weeks later we defined some rules how to handle the COVID situation. We wear masks, we make working stations in more distance. We have some racks between the people, so that they cannot be affected.
So they can work comfortably and feel safe coming into work.
They can work comfortable. We implemented a test station that we can do tests on our own. We make the PCR test station so that people can test themselves, and we really ask them to stay at home if there is any kind of flu, any kind of bad feeling, to stay at home.
Number one priority, I guess, staff safety.
Get staff safety.
Yes.
Yes.
Norbert, that's been absolutely fascinating. Thanks for that insight into the terrible challenges that you must have faced with the COVID. I must say, you must be looking very well on it, you must say so, but well done. So here we are, visited our fifth supplier today, first in mainland Europe, and I think the first thing that caught us out was the mainland European weather. We just got absolutely drenched in a South German thunderstorm, which up until now the weather's been pretty good.
Yeah, I'm starting to regret my choice of not packing a coat with a hood. I mean, definitely a rookie error, and I'm a pair of trainers down. We've just gone through a thunderstorm of epic proportions.
Biblical.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're drying out nicely. Very enjoyable day today at Truma, and I think the thing that was interesting for me was the diversification to new product ranges. Obviously, they're well known for heating systems. They're the largest heating system provider in Europe, I guess, but moving into solar panels, air conditioning units, motor movers, and even cooler boxes.
And also they're understandably proud of how they're putting this stuff together. They've got this big robotic friction welding process. And you know, they've taken the time to sort of show us these aluminium, one's die cast and the other is, you know, friction welded onto that. And it is so neat. And that quality then, probably as you'd expect, then follows along, and at the end, was it 87 checks on a combi boiler. So very slick operation.
So yeah, very enjoyable day. We're now parked ourselves up for the night. We're in a municipal site in the centre of Munich, so we're going out to see what the city has to offer tonight. And then, all being well, we're off to visit another Goliath of a supplier based near the city tomorrow. And we look forward to catching up with you all again then soon. Welcome to day 2 of our European tour. We're still in Germany, and I think we're still actually in Bavaria. We've driven about 2 hours west from the city of Munich on the way to Stuttgart, and we're in the town of 𝗚𝗏, which is home to another behemoth of the caravan and motorhome industry, and that is 𝗚𝗏𝘃. And I'm delighted to meet Michael Ниebel from 𝗚𝗏𝘃.
Right.
Thank you very much for inviting us along, and really excited to be here today. So we're here in 𝗚𝗏𝘃. I think I'm pronouncing it correct. 𝗚𝗏𝘃. Here in 𝗚𝗏𝘃. 𝗚𝗏𝘃. Can you tell me what part of the operation goes on here?
Yeah, we are here in the headquarters. Our board is sitting here, our management. So we have the hub, the logistic hub here. All the material is coming from suppliers or from our own factories in Europe, comes here, and then it goes out to our subsidiaries or our customers. We also have the R&D here, so all the development is done here. We have the testing department, and we produce here all the chassis parts and all our axles. So this is the main factory for our main products.
You're assembling everything here, so including the chassis and the axle we're sitting on at the moment.
Yeah, we produce both here, bring it to the lorry, and then it comes to your place, and then you collect everything and mount it together in your factory.
We sort of touched upon that virtually every caravan in the UK market now is on an 𝗚𝗏𝘃 chassis. Now, understandably, you should be proud of that, but that must raise other challenges, such as, how do you go about selling other accessories? Are other accessories available? Or, with every caravan already coming on a well-spec'd 𝗚𝗏𝘃 chassis, does that present a problem of its own?
The accessory is a very important business for us. We have the core products, the chassis, the axle, the overrun device, the coupling, so everything you need to build a caravan in your factory. Yeah. But on top on that, we have a lot of accessories, which gives your customers more comfort, more security. So in UK we have the specific situation that caravans are very high equipped with additional accessories, and that's good, because for your customers you have, for example, most caravans have ATC.
You said about 70%?
70% in UK they have ATC, which gives you more security by driving.
If shows how bad our drivers are, perhaps.
Yeah, for example. But sometimes the situation is quite critical.
Yeah, of course.
And also like the secure system to give the security that the caravan will not be stolen and so on. So the caravans in UK are very good fitted from the early beginning. And of course we are looking for new accessories. What can we do to make caravan easier? So, for example, we have a company called 𝗚𝗏𝘃. They do leveling systems. So you have the corner steadies, and with an advice you can bring with one push the whole caravan into the system, into the level.
How do you go about making sure that your quality control follows on with the Bailey caravan as well? I mean, is there a vendor vetting process to ensure that everything is assembled correctly?
Yeah, that's very important, because our claim is quality for life, as you know, and it's not only product development and production, it's also that we assure that our customer do the things right, to have the right torque and to mount it in the right follow-up. So we do at least, or we offer to our customers at least once a year to do an audit, to do a training. So our guys from Technik or from quality management, they go to the customer, they do an assembling tour, they show what is important or probably what is new. Sometimes products change. Sure. So this is very important, and we offer it to every customer in Europe. And most of our big customers take the offer, and because they are also interested that everything is good.
No, that's great. And obviously we have very close involvement with your team at Southam in Warwickshire, so 𝗚𝗏𝘃 UK. Yeah. And obviously they come to the factory regularly, and we obviously get involved with them very early in the design process. We've got a new product and they'll come in with the recommendations for the chassis.
So looking to the future, is there anything 𝗚𝗏𝘃 are looking at developing or a change in product? Is there anything you can tell us, or is there something you might not be able to tell us?
No. Of course, we think about the future and we see the changes. We see the e-mobility is coming. Of course, it takes some years. So we talk with our customers, we talk with universities, with partners, and so we have to find the right solutions for the future. And nobody knows at the moment. But what we do already is we look on lightweight. This is key. So we established a chassis 2-3 years ago, which is 𝗚𝗲𝘃. We took out 30% of the weight out of the chassis.
Wow.
30%. So this was possible because we used bionic thinking. We did a lot of calculation. We looked where is really the strength in the chassis.
Yep.
Where can we get out in height or in thickness. So this is a great example how we work on it, and now we have a new chassis for motorhomes, also lighter. So we work on these things already and have products already, but we also have to look for the future for new solutions.
Michael, that's been absolutely fascinating. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Glad you're here, and now we show you where our products are produced.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. So that's day 2 of our European tour. We're currently sitting in the car park of the fascinating 𝗚𝗲𝘃 Customer Visitor Centre, which is open to the public, really worth a visit if you're popping by. We've been on the receiving end of some more fantastic Bavarian cooking, so we're feeling a bit dozy, but before we fall asleep, let's just recap on what we saw today.
Yeah, I think for me it was just the sheer scale of it. It's I think they said it was 100,000 square metres, which in my brain doesn't really compute into a size until you walk around it. But I think it's safe to say we've done our steps today. But it's a very modern facility, as you may expect, and you know, robots everywhere, lots of automation, and obviously lots of investment as well.
Yeah, they're producing about 2,200 axles a day.
Not a week, not a month, that's a
day. And for them, that's still not maximum capacity. So while they've got very good order books in the caravan and motorhome industry, but also in the commercial vehicle industry. So that wraps it up here at 𝗚𝗃. We're heading north. We've got one further visit this week, and we'll catch up with you the day after tomorrow. And we look forward to again showing you behind the scenes of some of our key suppliers to give you more of an idea of who makes the key components that go into your caravan and your motorhome. Welcome to the 7th and sadly final interview with our key suppliers. We've moved on from Germany, we've crossed the border, and we've moved into the Netherlands. And we're just outside a town in the south of the country, and it is home to another giant of the caravan and motorhome industry, the manufacturer possibly of the most important component in any caravan or motorhome. I'm delighted to say that Lee and I are here today in Thetford BV.
Welcome.
Welcome. And this is Pascal, who's the product design manager for RV OEM.
Product manager.
Product manager. Welcome. But it's not just toilets here, is it? You,
no.
You manufacture, what other items do you manufacture?
Yeah, of course, toilets is the main business. 200,000 of those products going out here yearly. But next to that, we have a really big plant building fridges, refrigerators, that go into RVs and motorhomes. Next to that, we also produce the additives here that you put in the toilet. About 6-7 million liters of this fluid come from this plant and go all over the world.
Okay.
So that's quite huge. And the second bit, all the service doors on the outside of the vehicle that are built in a 𝗚𝗲𝘃 vehicle, but in all other vehicles also, are being manufactured and assembled here. That are roughly the 4 most important lines.
And could you just describe in really simple terms the manufacturing process?
What I will say is we are a assembly factory here. We get in mainly for the toilets. It's plastic parts, injection molded parts that come from different suppliers through Europe, come to here, where we assemble them by hand with simple tools, hand tools and semi-automatic robotics into an assembled toilet. And because of the wide range of models and customizations, we do a lot of small batches, and we're really quick in changing models and changing shifts.
Good flexibility.
Flexibility for different customers and different models, and that's.
So with that in mind, is there a process from Thetford to sort of vendor vet so that your processes are adhered to when your equipment, such as the toilets and probably more importantly the fridges, are actually fitted in a caravan? Do you keep an eye on Bailey and sort of make sure that things are just so?
You mean audit and testing?
Correct. Yeah, we call it vendor vetting.
Yeah, yeah. What we do, especially on the fridges, we test them here offline, so we guarantee the safety and the security of the product here. And yes, we do on-site with different manufacturers, do an on-site audit where we check and see the installation, and also have to learn from the way it's assembled at a factory, and help out.
And we obviously last week we went to Rotherham to see your ovens being made there.
Yep.
Have you got any other plants in Europe?
This is the European headquarters here,
Yep,
so the main focus is in 𝗚𝗲𝘃. In Italy we have a small plant building macerator toilets for the marine business, also are Thetford branded. And in the US we have a big plant building fridges also for the US market. But for the European market, this is the main headquarters and production facility.
And with such a dominant market force in toilets,
I think every caravan or motorhome in Europe, maybe in the world, has a Thetford.
98% roughly. So that's a lot. Yeah.
So with that in mind, with such a dominant position, how do you plan to grow your business? I mean, are there products that you're pushing as well as the fantastic toilet?
Yeah, we cannot sit back and lean back because we have to improve at all times. So improving our current product is one of the things.
But I think, from a Bailey perspective, certainly our sister company Truma, probably your greatest success in terms of our diversifying is what we've got in front of you, which is a toilet fresh up set. And for the few people in the country who don't know what's in this box, perhaps you could explain what it is?
This is the magic box that everybody needs. Imagine buying a second-hand caravan that has been used for 5 or 10 years, and I just learned that the thing that you want is to replace your seat and cover and the holding tank, and you can see there on side the waste holding tank which is in there, and the cover and the seat, which are the parts that you would like to replace. You just pull them out of your caravan, you throw in a nice new fresh clean cassette tank and a seat and cover, and you're good to go for another 10 years.
It's a brilliant idea, and they've gone down a storm. It's the #1 bestseller at Truma by far,
which we like,
which is great. And it's really perfect for people who are buying a pre-owned caravan. You make it new, make it own. I mean, what better gift to give someone you love than a fresh up toilet set? It's absolutely fantastic. It's gone down. So this is a really good innovative idea. And if there's one caravan that really needs a toilet fresh up kit, I'd say it's probably this one.
Probably this one.
After you and I have been using it for 2 weeks.
Intensive use. That's
it's product testing.
It's product testing. Yeah.
Exactly. So when he's not looking, squirrel this one away. We'll have that away.
And we don't need our help to install it because it's so easy, so everybody can do it.
Pascal, that's been absolutely fascinating. Really enjoyed talking to you. Thanks for sharing some of your thoughts with us now.
It was really nice to be part of this great adventure. So
no, it's our pleasure.
Really good. Thank you very much. So that was the 7th and final supplier visit. We've just finished with our good friends at Thetford BV in the Netherlands. Again, another very, very interesting day. I think the thing I took away from the book was the diverse range of products that they make. They make not only the cassette toilets, but also the chemicals and the fridges, and all three manufacturing places completely different from one another in the same plant. And logistically, that must present them with huge challenges, but something which they achieve very successfully.
I think for me, the takeaway of today was the enormous toilet chemical drum. It's floor to ceiling, and it even goes sort of below the floor we were stood on. I mean, it's simply enormous, and they produce millions of litres of this a year. Am I right in thinking it was 6 million litres a year?
Something like that.
I mean, it's just vast. You know, you see one of these, and it was, yeah, it blows your mind.
I think the other thing that really impressed me with Thetford is virtually every caravan and motorhome in Europe has one of their cassette toilets fitted to standard, so they've got nowhere really to go there as a business to grow. So they've looked to diversify into different products such as refrigerators. But the other thing they've done is looked at the aftermarket, and they've been very successful in starting to sell and produce additional products such as chemical, but also the fresh up kits that we sell through Truma. And that, as I understand it, for them has increased their production of the toilet seats and the toilet canisters by 20%. So that's it. That's the end of our 2-week road trip where Lee and I have done a tour of the UK and parts of Europe, visiting the key suppliers who make the components which go to produce the Bailey caravans and motorhomes. And for me, it's been a very interesting tour. We've seen 7 very different plants making 7 very different products. But I guess from the business side, I think the thing that really struck me was the sort of the strength of the relationship between these suppliers and Bailey, and they really are partners, not just suppliers, and how we work with them from the design process all the way through to installation and the aftermarket to provide the best possible components in our vehicles.
It was great to see such a wide variety of factories as well, because I mean you sort of get, you know, some of the possibly smaller ones that are largely dependent on manual labour, to ones that sort of, you know, have a £2 million robot to do some of their work. But the common issue I think with there is everyone's keen to look after their staff. There's a lot of families, you know, reliant on the business, but these businesses are investing further in their business to make sure that your business can sort of progress and fulfil orders. So, you know, it's good to see it. Whichever country we went, you know, whether it's different parts of the UK, whether it's Germany, whether it was Holland, everyone seems to be sort of forging ahead with a common goal.
There's a real sort of confidence in the future of the market, isn't there? I think that's, again, something that was very clear at all companies.
Yeah, and also it was good to see that they've all got their eye on the future. They're not, you know, they're all busy factories, and they're not just thinking, well, let's just keep doing what we're doing. You know, these companies are sort of very much got an eye on the future. They've got research and development stuff in the offing, some of which, you know, we couldn't even talk about with them. But it's good to see that, you know, they've got sort of lightweight, they've got EVs in mind, and everything is sort of, you know, there to make sure that, you know, whatever transport changes may occur in the future, they're going to be ready for them.
But to me, the star of the show has been this old girl, the Bailey Pegasus Grande 𝗚𝗍 and 𝗏𝗏, which has taken every one of those 2,200 miles in her stride. And it's a caravan that has electrics provided by BCA Leisure from Yorkshire. It has locker doors built by 𝗚𝗏𝘃 in North Lincolnshire. It has an oven made by Thetford UK in Rotherham in South Yorkshire. Soft furnishings from Belfield Leisure in Derbyshire, a heating system from Truma in southern Germany. It has a chassis from 𝗚𝗏𝘃cije also in southern Germany, and it has a Thetford toilet cassette from Thetford here in Holland. So thanks very much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this 2-week jaunt away, and hopefully it gives you a greater insight into what's involved in making a caravan and motorhome, and the components and the people behind them that goes into putting these vehicles together. So thanks very much for watching.